What is your American dream?
So my American dream, 1, is to move somewhere where there's no winter, and 2, to do all the things I'm passionate about full time.
Just basically to live out my life the way that I choose, coming here to convention centers like this and finding someone to actually share the enjoyment that I do.
The American dream would be living your life without having to second guess your opinions. Don't sell yourself short of the experience.
My American dream is my own personal freedom and creativity to do what I want, but also others around me. As long as it's safe and fun and everybody's on the same playing field, I don't feel like there should be any limitations. I think you should be able to enjoy your one life that you're given and be grateful and to give back to others as well.
My American dream is just to be happy and to not let anyone get in my way of doing that.
Everyone has a right to the American dream. Welcome everybody, Brad Show Live, January 31st, the coldest day of the year. It is how cold is it outside, Yonathan, Yo-Yo, Elias? Even Groundhog Sam couldn't come to work today. Ooh, cold.
I mean, he's supposed to be hibernating.
It is cold.
Anyways.
It is cold outside. How cold is it, Kim Moore?
What?
I was about to say Belgium, Kim Moore, but I didn't make any sense to me. Belgium, Kim Moore.
She's gone
it's
for
either
one
Belgium,
day, you don't
it's
even
either
remember her
Belgium
name.
Kim or Kim Moore. But I can't be Belgium Kim Moore. That's just weird.
I can't leave
How
her.
cold is it, Belgium Kim Moore?
Brad, it's so cold that I can't think of a single joke about how cold it is.
And with that, let's say hello. Very good. I'm glad all of your improv classes have really paid.
Haven't taken it in a while, Brad. You gotta re-up that subscription.
Paid off. Abigail Taylor Watson, good evening, squad. Lisa Bligros, hi, Uncle Brad, squad up. Christy Consali, hello, everybody. Marcia Martin Harley, hi, everyone. And Jessica Leamy Joeli says, squad up, my loves. Do you know what warms our heart here in the studio?
That?
Love.
That's true.
Aww.
Love warms our heart, Jessica Leamy. Watson, how are you? And Latoya Pass. I don't know why I'm in such a good mood today.
You are you've been bouncing off the walls all day.
Because I was listening to that song all day. That's like 3 years old, and it just got me all excited.
Right. That album.
You know what? Music makes people happy.
That's actually true.
Right, it really does.
It changes
That's what
my mood.
music
Right,
is
we got to
for.
start playing more music in the law office.
Were you guys like bumping music?
We got to play some music here. You a DJ?
Yeah, I can be.
You can DJ?
Absolutely, for the right price.
I thought you would just come here with like your computer and just start DJing.
That's a lot of work.
How much fun would it be in the waiting room if you come to Spar Bernstein waiting room and there's Yo-Yo just DJing in the waiting room? People would be so happy, Yo-Yo.
Right, you won't be able to get people to leave.
No, they'd be like partying in the waiting room.
Maybe we
We'd
should
be like,
do it like every Friday.
I'd be like, Jessica Levy, you can come in for your consultation now. And she's like, no, I ain't leaving
no,
here.
We're still here
No
partying.
consultation.
Like what?
You have to go in and interrupt somebody exchanging numbers.
I would love that if Yo-Yo would just DJ one day in the waiting room. Would you do that?
I would absolutely do that.
Yes?
Yeah.
You realize that Yo-Yo does nothing for free, right? Like
Yo-Yo will do this for free. Jedi mind trick.
Right.
How many people out there would come to our office
once a week
on Fridays? Because it's Friday. Friday. How many people would come once a week to our office on Fridays, even though today's Thursday, today's Throwback Thursday, but would come to our office on Friday and just hang out in the waiting room because Yo-Yo's DJing?
And have like some snacks and stuff?
All right, we'll have snacks too.
It could be like small little
Yeah,
snacks.
like what kind of snacks would you serve as the DJ?
Amuse-bouches.
What would you do? Like some fancy stuff?
No.
Like something with caviar?
No.
You do
No?
like pigs in a blanket?
Yeah,
like pigs in a blanket?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's it? Just pigs in a blanket?
Well, I mean.
Who's going to be cooking these pigs in the blanket? Belgium
There we
Kim
go.
Moore will be cooking pigs in a blanket.
And Groundhog Sam, both
Yes.
of
That'll be I'll be a hard pass. A hard pass.
Rich Kid C, squad up. And who else? I said Deion Watson and Tamika Nelson, Levon D. Tucker. Do you know what's famous about Tamika Nelson?
What?
Okay, one day, Tamika, one day.
One day.
This show that you're watching right now
Yeah.
will be a very, very famous show. We will blow up one day.
Obviously.
Okay, I know it.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of time.
It's
It's like right there on the horizon.
It's cuspy.
Cusping.
Cuspy.
And then Belgium Kim Moore will be interviewed in People magazine
Yeah.
about the origins of Bradshaw Live.
Yeah.
And as part of that People magazine expose,
The
expose
yeah.
on Belgium Kim Moore, going back to her roots in Belgium, walking
Right.
around, she would mention that the first thing that we ever put on our show was Tamika and Kevin in the Bradified marriage.
That's true.
So Tamika, if we ever blow up, you will go
When we blow up.
when we blow up.
Yes.
Okay, Tamika will go down in the history
Yeah.
of Bradshaw Live as the first segment that we did on our show.
Wait, are you? That's a
Right?
hand clap. But
Yes.
are you just saying that because she said, "Brad, I love your sweater. Can I have it?"
Yes. Exactly why I'm saying it.
There it
because
is.
had she said that, Brad, your sweater's really ugly. I don't like what you're wearing today. You should dress more like an attorney. I would have come up with a different segment that was our first segment, and I would have completely forgot about Tamika and Kevin. Marjorie Thompson, how are you? And I said Rich Kid C, Dawn Harriet. And Cece Mitchell, what's going on? And Lisa Bling Rose. If the Uncle Brad carries on.
Uncle Brad carries on.
Okay, if
forever.
Uncle Brad carries on, Lisa Bling Rose started that one.
Ooh,
Right?
that and that.
Right? I mean, we have to start. You know what I think we're going to do?
Uh-oh.
Belgium Kim Moore.
Uh-huh.
Hey,
We
don't ever miss a day.
Okay,
Because
okay,
you miss
but-
one day.
Miss one day.
And
It's like
we don't know who you are.
We don't know who is this person.
Yonathan has not gone a full week on this show since he started, but God
We know,
forbid I miss a
we
day.
know exactly who Yonathan is. Don't worry. But you know what we're going to do? Okay, write this down.
Yeah, ready.
Yeah, you ready? Write this down.
Ready?
Next week,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
on Throwback Thursday,
Uh-huh.
a week from today,
Yeah.
we will have the first
Yeah.
annual Brad Show Live. You taking all this down?
First
Yes.
annual
Brad Show Live Brad Squad Awards.
Ooh.
Brad Squad Award.
The awards to Brad Squad. We will make trophies up and give them all out to all people. We will have a nomination. I'm going to be in a tuxedo.
Wait, do I get to bust out my ball gown
You
again?
can bust out your ball gown.
Or do I need a new one this
No,
time?
we were
A new
okay.
one.
We are going to have. So
don't
please, if
recycle.
you're part of the Brad Squad, okay, if you're part of the Brad Squad, make sure you watch next Thursday. Jill is like, "What are you talking about?"
Right.
In your ear, like
Yes, what are you
abort
talking
mission,
about? Yes.
abort.
We're going to have our first annual Brad Show Live Brad Squad Awards.
That's pretty fun.
Now it's going to be fun, except if you don't win. Because if you don't win, if
yeah.
you don't win, people are going to get very, very insulted. So I'm telling you ahead of time. Okay, there will be somebody who doesn't win an award. Not everybody in the Brad Squad, because there's over 1,000 people in the Brad Squad.
Right.
Can't
We
win
should
an
have
award.
them like nominate each other for.
I think we should. Maybe we should do nominations next Thursday.
Yeah, nominate for.
All right, so
Nominations
okay,
next
so this is
Thursday.
what we're going to do, and we're going to let the Brad Squad vote on it. So
Yeah.
it has nothing to do with us, and we could do that on our Facebook page. We can figure it out.
Yeah, we can give them. We
so
can give them
next
categories.
Thursday, we're going to come up with all of our categories, and we're going to ask people to put in nominations for Brad Squad. Okay, Brad Squad Awards, Brad Show Live, Brad Squad Awards.
Great.
Okay.
Brad Show Live, Brad Squad Awards.
All right, let's
Got
continue
it.
now. Okay.
Nice.
Lolith Platt. Kim is like, how are we going to do all this? We'll figure it out.
That's fine.
Right,
Yeah.
Dawn Harriet, how are you? Asset Lindo could be in the running for something. Asset Lindo, you never know.
Asset
never
Lindo.
know.
Right,
man,
right.
just- There's a lot of people.
There's a
I
lot
feel
of people.
like would be in the
You never
running.
know.
Carol Anderson, the Tiger, could be in the running for something.
If she's not in the running for, see, there's so many people.
So
like,
many
if
people.
They're
Dade
not
C.
nominated-
Welcome. Dade C. Welcome. Always in the running.
Oh my God.
Right? Rich Kid C could be in the running. I mean, Lots of people.
Groundhog Sam has just nominated himself for all categories.
No. He's not part of the Brad Squad. He's part of the Brad Crew.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not
That's a
Brad Crew.
different-
It's not Brad Crew Awards. Groundhog Sam. It's Brad Squad.
First of all, how
Awards.
is he in the comments and he ain't even come on the show yet?
He didn't come on the show at all.
I thought he was hibernating.
He's hibernating in his hole with a computer.
Exactly, with his little tiny little
All
cricket
right.
song.
Evelyn
Mug.
Mendez. Evelyn Mendez wants to know if I have an office in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
No, but we handle cases all over the country, so don't
Can we
worry.
take a trip?
We can take a trip. It's
Let's just take a
really
trip
warm
somewhere.
in Fort Lauderdale.
Please.
Just anywhere
Yes.
hot, Brad.
Yes.
Anywhere hot.
Levon Tucker, what's going on?
What's up? What's up?
What's up? What's up? What's up? And of course, Christine Bennett. Now, I did not put on YouTube on my computer here, so let me
Oh, the humanity.
humanity here. The
What?
humanity. But I
Wow.
have it on. I have it on my iPad, so I'm putting my iPad up.
Okay.
Ja Love, watching every day, could be in the
Every
running
day.
for something. Danny Contreras,
Yeah.
most contrary person
Nah,
with it by name only.
except for John Cena. John Cena is pretty
He's
contrary.
very contrary too.
Or Leonardo DiCaprio?
Yes, he's also contrary, and Rob J. Roberts also contrary. We already have the
Back it up,
nominations.
Ricky.
We already have what?
Back
it up, Ricky could be contrary too. I mean, we have nominations for most contrary squad member. All right, Cordella Douglas. Laddie Brown, what's going on? Back it up, Ricky is there, says
God.
happy Thursday. Jamie Grant, Bevan Smith, Eulette Wilson, Arlene Lucis, Sexy Teddy Bear.
Whoa.
Sexy teddy bear.
Ooh, sexy Teddy Bear.
Wait,
Brad, you could be a sexy teddy bear.
Today I could be.
Yeah.
that's true.
Because I'm very fuzzy today.
You're
Yeah.
fuzzy. You're wearing
Yes.
a warm sweater.
It was so cold outside, I had to.
Yeah.
This was the warmest sweater I found.
You're rocking the not clean shaven look.
Because I needed every whisker.
Right.
I walked outside. I swear to God, I looked in the mirror. I'm like, I'm not shaving today. I'm like, this is why bears,
Yeah.
Have fur.
Sexy,
Have fur.
Sexy teddy bear.
That's right.
Now, where do we put the emphasis? Could it be like a sexy teddy on a bear? You know what I'm saying? No?
Maybe. By the way, a gift from God says, "What's up, Brad Squad?"
Not a gift from God.
A gift from God.
Is that the gift from God?
It's a gift to us. That is for sure.
That's my name. Yonathan means God given in Hebrew. So that might be.
Yonathan
like
means
Yonathan.
God.
Yeah.
Yonathan in Hebrew?
God given.
How do you know this?
Because my mom.
Your mom knows Hebrew?
Yeah, she knows a little bit.
Why don't you know Yonathan
I
in Hebrew?
don't know what Yonathan means in Hebrew.
Well,
God given.
Yes.
it means God given.
Very good.
Or gift from God.
But that's odd that you have a Hebrew name and I don't.
It's not odd. I mean, where's Ethiopia? That's like the culture.
Yeah, I don't have a Hebrew. I have an English name.
Yeah.
Bradford.
Tells you about yourself.
Bradford.
Are you a real Jew?
No.
We're questioning.
No. When I was about 5, I realized I wasn't. All right, so we got to get into some schmoozing here. Yonathan Yo-Yo Elias,
Yes.
Belgium Kim Moore. What we will do before we get into it, Belgium Kim Moore, there will be absolutely no way that anybody can bribe us
No.
for an award.
No.
So, if they were to say, hey, I shared 500 times, can you put me in for an award? Maybe we would look more,
No.
would we look more kindly on that person for an award?
Well, it's
I
not
mean,
up to us it's up to
Exactly.
the Brad Squad to nominate
All
them.
right,
We're
so-
not
all right, fine.
We're
nominating
going to
So
stay
anybody.
this clean,
So-
fair, and
So
balanced.
next
we're just
Thursday,
announcing.
we're going to announce the nominations, and we're going to open it up on Facebook for people to nominate, and we're going to run these awards fairly,
That's right.
so that way nobody can be mad.
Transparency.
Transparency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Belgium Kim, Yonathan Yo-Yo Elias. Before we get into some schmoozing here, I got a lot of news here in my
That
hand.
was real thick.
Right, a very thick
Okay.
girth of news.
Okay.
Whoa. Definitely not. Okay.
Tell them what they get, which is absolutely nothing for sharing.
You guys,
It's so simple to get absolutely nothing on Brad Show Live because all you have to do is nothing. And by that we mean share. Hit that button on Facebook on the bottom or top of your screen and share it to your page, to your friends' pages, and most importantly, into groups that you are a member of. Yonathan, what do they do on the YouTube?
And on YouTube, there is a way of just copying the link. Copy that link and send it to different people's WhatsApps. You got to text it to people. You could also send it through Facebook. You could actually make it a post as well. So just make sure that people know exactly how to access this show. Copy the link, send it to them. All right?
And with that, let's get into a little schmoozing.
Don't call me out.
Every day.
Meanwhile, Puerto Rico, the Clinton Foundation is aiding Puerto Rico. I love Puerto Rico, by the way. I've been to Puerto Rico twice this winter.
This winter.
This winter.
Excusez-moi.
This winter, I go for the weekend. It's nice. It's
Sheesh.
inexpensive to fly, JetBlue. You go to San Juan. It's fun. And it's a quick flight,
I
3
need to do
hours.
that,
You don't
yeah.
even have to. You don't have to even take your
Wow,
passport.
really?
Yeah, it's like going to Florida.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because it's America.
Yeah.
Right. So the Clinton Foundation is aiding Puerto Rico, and by the way, there's a lot of beautiful things to do there, other than sit on the beach in Puerto Rico. They have beautiful rainforests, beautiful waterfalls,
for my birthday.
beautiful waterfalls, great clubs at night, the beaches, shopping, fantastic food. I'm very pro Puerto Rico these days.
Nice.
I'm on
Okay.
JetBlue right now, Brad.
JetBlue.
I actually might want to do that for my birthday.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun weekend for your birthday. So, meanwhile, the Clinton, and by the way, I think at least the places I've been to, seems to have recovered from Puerto Rico. The Clinton Foundation has, however, brought together hundreds of corporations, non-government organizations, and government leaders to San Juan. The mission was to help Puerto Rico, the U.S. Virgin Islands, and the rest of the Caribbean continue to recover from last year's hurricanes and build capacity to become more resilient. Undeterred by false claims that the Clinton Foundation had shut down after the 2016 election, officials say they have actually expanded their work and momentum and have even gotten more support. And officials said very few leaders know how to get people to work together as effectively as Bill Clinton.
Yep.
And hundreds of millions of people around the world are still benefiting from the thousands of commitments launched since 2005.
Wow.
Damn, look
That's
how
Yes,
old
there
he's
was a Monica Lewinsky joke in there, but I kept it.
Wow.
I
Well
didn't,
done.
well done. So I'm doing this seriously.
You really,
Thank you. Yeah, look at me. Yeah.
really putting in work there, Brad.
During their visit to Puerto Rico, they also joined celebrity chef Jose Andres to greet Franco and Natalia Marcano Medina of the Cosiches Tierra Viva Farm. And the farm highlights the potential for small farmers to increase their outputs through sustainable farming practices and cutting-edge technology. Meanwhile, the State of the Union
Yeah.
has now been rescheduled. I believe it's next week.
Yes.
Okay.
Is that correct?
Yes,
And
on Tuesday.
it is on February 5th, which is next week.
Okay.
And the Congresswoman Bonnie Watson Coleman, who represents the New Jersey district where the Trump National Golf Course is,
Yeah.
has invited the undocumented housekeeper, Victorina Morales, who was fired from Trump International Golf
Yeah.
Club, to the State of the Union address.
That's
to
amazing.
basically, I guess, what would you? I guess you would call it. Millennials would call it. You would shade Trump. What is it? You're
Yeah.
kind of shading him a little bit.
It is shady. It's petty
Petty.
in a
Was-
great way.
Eddie.
Right. Would you like shade it? Is it what would be the term?
I mean, I feel like it would be throwing shade.
Throwing
right?
shade?
Yeah.
Throwing shade?
shade.
Throwing shade at Trump a little bit?
I'll be final answer, Brad.
Final
Throwing
answer. Thank you
shade.
very much. That's a correct answer, Belgium. That's exactly what this card says. That's exactly what this card says. All right. And in a brief interview on Wednesday, Ms. Morales said that on the advice of her lawyer, she stopped going to work on December 4th, 2 days before the Times article was published.
Good
That was a pretty good call by her lawyer. Where's her lawyer now telling her to not show up to the State of the Union, or if she was going to show up to the State of the Union, not to announce it ahead of time, because I have a concern for her that Trump is going to have ICE waiting there to arrest her before she even walks into the
Right.
State of the Union. That's what I would think would happen. So Bonnie Watson Coleman said on Wednesday she was pleased to have invited and was very proud because Victorina is going to raise her voice for all immigrants. I just hope she doesn't get
That's fantastic.
arrested.
Yeah.
Ms. Watson Coleman said immigrants by and large are hardworking, trustworthy, and skilled people who simply want to work and build better lives here. Absolutely.
Yep.
For years, these kind of people were loyal and dedicated enough to the Trump organization. I hope that in his State of the Union address, Donald Trump will finally acknowledge the real face of immigrants in this country, women and children fleeing violence, law-abiding taxpayers, paying people who would do almost anything to be Americans. And if I can't, I've invited Victorina so that he may look her in the eyes and to tell his lies to a familiar face.
Wow, love that.
The White House did not
Good for
immediately
her.
respond to comments on this.
You don't say.
I would just be concerned that Trump can do something mean to this
Right.
woman.
Right.
Let's see what else is happening here. I thought we talked about this, but maybe we didn't. The movie Roma is up for Academy Award, Best
We did
Picture.
talk
I think it
about
has 10. We talked about this,
Yeah,
right?
We
about how
did,
he
but there's a
couldn't come.
follow-up.
Okay. So we talked about this before, and it was up for 10 Academy Awards.
Yeah.
And the Roma actor Jorge Antonio Guerrero, who has a major part in Roma, was denied his visa.
Right.
So then there was a letter written by the Netflix, president of Netflix, to
Yep.
say, hey, this guy was one of the lead actors in a movie that is up for 10 Academy Awards.
Yeah.
Will you please give him a visa so he can attend the Academy Awards? They tried to do an appeal. And Guerrero told the Los Angeles Times that when they took the letter from the president of Netflix into the U.S. Embassy, the officer refused to read it.
Wow.
Yes.
So this has to be something like internal. Like this is kind of that's petty.
Well,
I feel like it's because
it's petty, but you know what? There's a way. When you get denied visas, there's a way to do it, and the way to do it is not basically poke the officer in the eye.
Right.
So why he was denied? Because I know how this system works. If you make a big public stink about this, they are going to become recalcitrant and not budge and say you're not entitled to it.
Right.
Why? Because there is no appeal, there's no legal mechanism you can do to get them to issue a visa.
Got it.
Even if the president of Netflix was best friends with Donald Trump
Yeah.
and said, Donald, call the embassy in Mexico and tell him to issue this guy a visa, the officer at the embassy in Mexico could tell Donald no. They're on their own island.
Right.
So what would Donald do? Donald would fire that person and put in somebody who would.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's how extreme it could be. So if you are all powerful, okay, you are almighty,
Yeah.
why, if somebody starts making a big stink and really calling you out and calling out your embassy and calling out the professionals in that embassy, why would you go and now help that person?
Right.
Of course they're going to say, go here, take your letter, and get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
What should have happened is that they should have quietly worked behind the scenes to speak to people's supervisors at the embassy to say, hey, listen, I think you should go back and look back at this
Yeah.
application, because this is a guy who's coming to the Academy Awards, and not make a public stink about it.
Yeah.
And I almost assure you, he would have got a visa.
Wow. So they
That's-
needed you.
They needed me.
Sheesh.
What else is happening here? This is a disgusting story, Belgium Kim. The story.
Don't Belgium Kim me.
You gave me this story.
I did not.
Yes, you did.
I did not.
A 20-year-old woman sneezed out a ring that was stuck up her nose since she was 8 years old.
What?
Yeah.
She looked like it too.
She looked like she stuck up a ring up her nose.
Yep.
Come on, don't insult people, Yonathan.
Oh, please.
Abigail Thompson had no idea this piece of jewelry, a gift for her 8th birthday, was up her nose the whole entire time.
What's her name?
Abigail. The 20-year-old said she noticed her ring had gone missing when she was 8 years old,
can't.
but then assumed somebody stole it. She didn't realize she snorted it.
Oh.
She said, I never, ever in a million years would have guessed that it was stuck up my nose.
It don't even fit on her finger.
I always had a friend over. We would always sit on my bed, and she thought one of them must have taken it while they were at my house. Mom thought one of them must have stolen it. There was no other explanation. Why do all these weird things happen in England?
Right.
Right? So then, a million years, she would never have guessed it was stuck up her nose.
Right.
But then she says, I felt a sharp feeling, but I didn't think of it until I looked in the tissue. And I looked at it and I went, oh my God, that's my ring!
Oh no, that's such a
Ew.
disgusting
Why
picture.
did y'all
Yeah.
show that picture?
No.
Ugh.
By the way, the ring is in decent condition right now.
Oh, I almost
It's a
threw
little
up.
rusty.
Ooh.
It's a little rusty and totally needs to be desanitized, but it's up for sale.
Oh,
Oh, no kidding.
Yes.
I think I'm good. Thanks.
And
threw up just now.
Yeah,
and let's
that's
see what else is
disgusting.
happening here. Finally,
Finally.
there's a New York City steakhouse called 212 Steakhouse is making a luxurious affair with the Gold Experience, a 6-ounce, 24-karat gold Kobe beef steak that is going to cost $400 for a 6-ounce Kobe beef steak dusted in gold.
stupid.
Stupid.
That's
Stupid.
dumb.
Stupid.
How much is like a normal Kobe beef
Yeah.
steak?
You know what? If we go to
Don't
the
even look
if we
good.
go to the 212 Steakhouse, Belgium Kim,
Yeah.
and I order the $400. By the way, 6 ounces is like 2
It's
bites.
tiny, yeah.
It's 2 bites.
Yeah.
The gold. You could just go to me. Hey, stupid.
Right.
Okay. Now, I was just telling you this story because I was looking at this right before we got on the air.
You did that. Yeah.
when I was in Dubai. I went to a cafe.
Yeah.
And it was a very fancy cafe.
Right.
And on the menu, it said you could have a cappuccino covered in gold dust. Mm-hmm. And the person I was with says, "Oh, I'm gonna have it." I go, "Wait a second."
That's what I'm gonna have.
I said, I gotta ask how much this gold dusted cappuccino is, because I'm thinking it's gonna be like $1,000. I'm in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. They're gonna like gold dust the whole thing. You know?
Absolutely.
I'm not paying $1,000 for a cappuccino.
The inside of the cup is
Exactly.
gold. The outside is gold.
Exactly.
Dusted.
So it turns out that in Dubai, a gold cappuccino is $11.
Oh, okay.
So I could only imagine how much money they make on this steak.
Right.
Because if it costs only $11 to like gold dust a cappuccino,
That's
which would
crazy.
be about the same size as a 6-ounce steak.
Right.
Okay, they're totally ripping you off. So when I found out it was $11 for the gold cappuccino, I said, I'll have one too. We'll have two. I'm a sport. I can pay for two.
One for everybody
One
in
for
the
everybody.
restaurant.
And let me tell you something
Yeah.
about drinking gold, at least in coffee.
Yeah, how was
It gets all over the place. It doesn't taste like anything. And it was
Right.
really, really
stupid,
even for $11.
That's the thing. You still paid, even if it was just $11. You still paid
There was
double
gold-
the
there was
price
go-
of
there
a
was go-
normal
there was-
cappuccino.
There was gold everywhere, Belgium
Yeah.
Kim. All right, and with that, and with that, by the way,
Yeah.
Groundhog Sam.
Yeah.
Ooh, he feels some type of way.
He had a lot of guilt
Uh-huh.
when he
Good.
didn't show up to
Good.
work.
Typical.
All right, so he has now showed up to work, and when we started our show, he decided he was going to do the intro.
Okay.
Now, Jilly says to me in my ear, Groundhog Sam wants to do the intro now that we started the show. He showed up to work. He felt very bad.
Typical.
What do you want to do? And when you guys were talking about sharing, I told Jilly, okay, let him film the intro.
little something, something.
A little something, something. So he just filmed it. I don't know what he's going to be telling us.
Okay.
But let's watch.
Groundhog Sam!
Oh, look, it's Julian, the TriCaster guy. Ha 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 ha. I wonder what he's up to. I'm gonna go say hello, see if he's coming to my Groundhog Day watch party. He better come. Hi, Julian. How are you today? Awesome! I'm so glad to hear it! I'm doing well too! Hey Julian, do you know what Saturday is? You do? You know it's Groundhog Day? Oh yay, I'm so glad you know! You know it's also my year anniversary of starting with Brad Show Live! That's how I feel! I'm wondering if you would like to come to my Groundhog Day watch party on Saturday? You would? You would? Oh! Do you like pretzels? special for pretzels, but you know, not everyone is. People who don't know what's good, I don't know. Anyway, are you enjoying this cold weather? Me neither. I should be sleeping right now, but I'm not. At least you and I are together in the warm offices of Spar and Bernstein. So anyway, you're getting ready for tonight's show? Awesome! Did you see yesterday's episode of Brad Show Live? Oh, that's right, of course you did. You were operating the TriCaster. Ha 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 ha. Okay, well, do you mind if I talk to everyone who might not have seen it? Thank you. Oh, hello, everybody. So Julian said it was okay for me to tell you all what happened on yesterday's show. Brad had gone on El Arabia News Channel to discuss the do's and don'ts of social media, particularly, of course, for people who are immigrants. Very important. I would suggest everybody go back and watch that segment. Then Belgium Kim went out on the street for another installment of Bradified Marriage. This time she spoke to a lovely Scottish couple who was visiting New York on their honeymoon. As happy as they seem, they're going to definitely have to work on their Bradified marriage skills because they didn't get many of the questions right. But that's the whole reason we play Bradified Marriage, to show people how tough it can be. Anyway, I'm getting ready for my Groundhog Day watch party, and good old Julian's gonna be there for chips, guacamole, and me. Can I press this button, Julian? What about this button? Fine, I'll leave the TriCaster to Julian. I'll see you on Saturday. High five. Ding, ding. I love the ding.
All right, Sam, you made us all laugh here
That
while
was
we were
hilarious.
watching. That was hilarious.
That
All
was
right.
funny.
So we got to get to something that we call, I've got your immigration answers if you've got an immigration question. So call right now, and we'll be happy to answer your immigration questions. And getting answers, call with your immigration questions. And I have to say, Belgium, Kim.
Yeah. Thanks.
And Yo-Yo Elias.
Yeah.
Silly show today.
Yeah. Funny.
Silly show.
Silly show.
All right, let's give some good answers here. Maria in Brooklyn. Maria.
Yes, hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Actually, your law firm is dealing with my immigration case.
Okay.
But I want to ask you a few questions.
Mm-hmm.
I came there in August of 2018, and I decided that I'm going to work with your law firm.
Do you have a question about your immigration case right now?
Yes.
Okay, what is it?
My immigration documents, they were submitted in the month that my green card was going to be expired, both me and my daughter.
Okay.
And to my knowledge,
you have a 2-year conditional green card?
Yes.
Okay.
And it has been expired.
Okay.
But I to my knowledge, I know that you're supposed to submit your documents 90 days prior to your green card being expired.
There's a window. Are you calling to complain to me? Is that what this call is about?
I just want want to ask you
so
a question.
the answer is that you have to file an I-751 to remove the conditions of your permanent residence. You have a 90-day window to do it, between 90 days before the expiration all the way up to a day before the expiration.
Okay, all right. The real question is, I did get a letter to go do my biometrics, which I did, but I haven't received anything for my daughter.
Okay. She was included on your application?
Yes.
Okay, how old is she?
She's 16.
Okay. She's going to ultimately need to do a biometrics too. I don't know why. I don't have your file in front of me at the moment, but since you're a client, you're happy to speak to you off the air. So hold on one second. Okay? All right. I heard that all the way. I'm calling to complain because something didn't happen.
Yeah. Both slightly different.
Yeah. Dana in Charlotte, North Carolina. Dane.
Hi, my name is Dane. I am calling because I petition for my mom a couple years back, made it all the way to the interview process, and they denied her based on provision section 212A6C1. And based on what I read, it seems like there is no recourse for her. But I'm no lawyer, and I'm hopeful.
Who is this person that you filed for?
My mother.
Your mother. And I don't know, and I'm be honest with you, I have not memorized every section of law under the Immigration Nationality Act. It is that big. What does 212A6, whatever that say? What does it say?
So apparently she supplied information during the interview that didn't match up with the information that I provided. And
So they're saying she made a misrepresentation.
Absolutely. And they also said that several years prior to me filing, she attempted to enter on a visa
so misrepresentation
was expired.
Okay.
Absolutely, that's the case.
So yeah, you filing for her, you can get her a visa appointment, but there's no waiver through you. No waiver. The only way she can get a waiver is through a spouse or a parent. So if your grandparents are living in America, you can file a visa petition and she can do the waiver through your grandparents. Or if she's married to a U.S. citizen or a resident, you can also file for her and she can do the waiver through a spouse. But she can't do the waiver through you. Those are two different things.
So there is recourse, it sounds like, is what you're saying.
There's recourse if you have grandparents here or if she is married in a bona fide marriage to a U.S. citizen or a resident.
So that's not the case. She's actually in Jamaica still.
Right, but that would be the only recourse.
Okay, is there any way I could work with someone offline to
yes.
talk about next steps?
Yeah, hold on one second. All right, let's go to Marissa in Cedar Hill, Texas.
Hello?
Hi.
Hello. I have a quick question. I've been a resident here since 2011, and I did divorce like 3 years ago, but I still have my 10 years green card not citizen, but the 10 years green card, and I still have six more years spare.
What were you arrested for?
I'm sorry?
What were you arrested for?
Oh, okay. My friend told me that one of her friends got citizenship. I didn't even know.
What were you arrested for?
My question?
My question to you is, you said you have a green card, you were arrested, and now you're telling me about your friend's citizenship. And so my question to you is, so I can help you, what were you arrested for?
Oh, no, sir. I didn't get arrested.
What'd you say?
I said I've been resident here.
Oh, a resident. My apologies. Okay, I thought you said I was arrested. I apologize. Okay, so let's start again then. Okay. So you've been a resident since when?
2011.
Got it.
Okay, and the 10 years visa, and I still have
6 more years. Got it.
Yes, and I'm about to get a citizenship, but my question is there any other way to get a citizenship instead of memorizing the 100 questionnaires and apply for a citizenship?
Oh, okay. So you don't want to take the test. The only way not to take the test is to be over 55 and had a green card for 15 years, or go to a doctor and let the doctor write a report based on medical evidence, not his opinion, but medical testing, that you have a mental deficiency or mental retardation or whatever the word that you would use, which I don't think you do. So, and other than that, you have to take the test.
Okay. That's all I need to know, because I got confusing when she said her friend got citizenship because, I don't know, it's like a real story, but she paid or he paid for the citizenship.
Now, maybe he was a citizen through his parents or her parents, and then you don't have to take the test. But if you're talking about naturalization, you have to take the test unless you're 15 years green card and over 55, or you have some sort of mental deficiency.
Okay, yes, sir. That's all I need to know.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right, let's go to Meso in Nashville, Tennessee. Meso.
Hi. Hi.
How are you?
I have a good. How are you?
Good.
I have a quick question. So one of my friends came up on an H-2B visa. I guess over a month passed. She found out she was pregnant. She tried to seek a provider, like a doctor, to see her, but everywhere she went, they said she had to have insurance. So took her to, I think, Mass Health. She got the insurance and everything, but she did 2 surgeries. One was a C-section. The baby passed away. But she's about to get married to someone that she's been on and off. They've been on and off from 2016 to now. He's not the baby father, though. Would that affect her case in any way?
No, she'll get a green card. No, she'll get a green card.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Tell her not to worry. And I'm sorry about the baby. That's sad.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. All right, let's go to Andrea in the Bronx.
Hi.
Hi.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So my question is, I've been married for 4 years, March of this year. I had a 2-year green card which expired. I did apply for the removal of condition. I'm still waiting to hear back from them. May of this year would be 3 years since the first green card. I just wanted to know if it's okay to go ahead and file the citizenship, or do I have to wait until I get the?
Are you and your spouse? You and your spouse are together. It's a good marriage. You do your taxes and everything.
Yes.
Okay, and you've now had your conditional green card for more than 3 years.
It's going to be 3 years, May of this year.
In May of this year, you can do your citizenship. Yes.
Without receiving the other green card?
Yeah. At your interview, they will interview you for both the citizenship and the green card.
Okay. All right. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome. Let's go to Anthony in Queens. Anthony.
Yes, I have a quick question.
Yes.
I just filed my adjustment of status last November, and I have to file my tax because I'm using only I don't have a social yet, but every year I file my tax, but including my kids, and they have affected my status.
Will that help you adjust your status, you're asking, by filing your taxes?
No. I file the taxes with my kids, right?
Right.
And then I heard that if you file a tax with your kids and you can earn for your kids, and then you're not going to deny your case.
That you heard that if you put your kids as dependents on your tax returns, your case would be denied? That's ridiculous.
Yeah. So
don't worry about that.
Don't worry. All right. Thank you.
Don't worry about that. Do your taxes. You're following the law. Let's go to John in Brooklyn.
Yeah, a significant crime before citizenship, which was
what?
Crime of moral turpitude.
Wait. Go back again. What about moral turpitude and citizenship?
Crime of moral turpitude. Can it revoke citizenship, which was committed before the citizenship?
Can a crime of moral turpitude be used to deny your citizenship? Is that your question?
After getting citizenship, can they denaturalize anyone?
Okay. Oh, you cannot be denaturalized. Once you're a citizen, always a citizen. So, let's say, for example, the only way they could denaturalize you is if there was fraud in the citizenship application. Okay.
Yeah,
let's say, I'm being absurd, but let's say Ted Bundy, who is a mass murderer, gets a green card and doesn't murder anybody, and is completely fine for 5 years and becomes a citizen, and then once he's a citizen goes on mass murdering 100 people or whatever it is, Ted Bundy will go to jail forever, but he's always going to be a citizen. They can't denaturalize him for it.
But what if he has planned the murder before citizenship? That's what a couple of cases, Florida, one woman was...
that there was a plan to commit a crime before they became citizens? Is that what you're asking? Is this about you, or is this just in theory?
In theory.
In theory? I don't know. I would have to see that particular case. I never saw a case where that somebody tried to get denaturalized because they were planning a crime of moral turpitude before the citizenship. I will say that if there was a pending case, in other words, the person got arrested or was committing crimes of moral turpitude during their citizenship application, I guess in theory you could denaturalize for fraud and say, well, you were planning or you were in the process of committing crimes while you were doing your citizenship, and on on the question on the citizenship is, have you ever committed a crime? And it's not, have you ever committed a crime and been arrested for it? So I guess in theory, so I guess as I'm just thinking it through, I guess in theory, yes, they could denaturalize you for that.
So how about the tax fraud or anything which was done? It might be like $50,000, $100,000, which was done during the time of citizenship. Can they use that to?
I guess anything is possible. But what I would suggest for you, John, because this doesn't sound like in theory. This sounds like this is you, okay? And you're in Brooklyn. Make an appointment to come see me so we can talk about it very specifically rather than in theory. So hold on one second.
Can this be defended?
All right. Yes, of course it can be defended.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let them know that.
Because the conviction happened after you became a citizen.
That's always
Love
a
that.
good thing.
Love it.
Johnny in Queens.
Hi, Mr. Brad. How are you today?
Good, what's up?
Not bad. I got a question for you. I'm a lawful permanent resident since 2017, and I remarried my spouse, and we're doing the consular processing. Everything is done already. I filed a waiver. It's been approved.
The provisional waiver.
And yes.
Uh-huh.
And we filled up the TS-260.
Okay.
It's been 4 months already. Finished already. I would like to know how much more longer get to qualify.
What embassy is this?
Guyana Consulate.
Guyana.
Guyana.
Okay. Has the file been transferred from the National Visa Center to Guyana?
Yes.
Okay. When was it transferred?
In 2017.
It was transferred in 2017. You don't have an interview?
No, I do. I'm a lawful permanent resident. My spouse. I'm talking about my spouse.
You filed for your spouse.
Yes.
And the file got transferred from the National Visa Center to the U.S. Embassy in Guyana when?
In 2017.
When did you file for your spouse?
I filed for her at the same time, and I brought to get the approval for my visa.
When
was that? Both filed together.
When was that?
In 2017.
Okay, so now you're not giving me proper information. You could not have filed for her in 2017 and then gotten the entire case approved through the National Visa Center and then forwarded it to the U.S. Embassy in Guyana all in 2017. So those are two different things. You filed an I-130 in 2017. Okay, that's basically what happened. Is that correct? And now
that's incorrect.
Okay, that's not correct. So then I don't understand. How did you get your green card?
Through my brother.
Through your brother. I understand
Yes.
now. So she's a derivative beneficiary.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
So she should have been included on that as a following to join. And so
Correct.
you came up first, and you want to know what's going on with your wife.
Correct.
And have you spoken to the U.S. Embassy in Guyana? What are they saying to you?
Yes. Oh, the last update I had from them, they said the case is in the queue to be qualified. So I already filled up a new DS-260. And
you know what you need is you need a lawyer. Remember when we talked at the I don't know if you saw the top of the show when we were talking about the actor in Mexico who couldn't get through? Okay, and I said, you know what a good lawyer would do is they would call the embassy, speak to supervisors, and kind of work behind the scenes. You need somebody to work behind the scenes to get this thing going. All right? So so the question to you is how much longer she should have been here already. Okay? And the fact that she's not here, you need a lawyer to get involved.
She's here. She's here.
She's here, and now she's going home. So, okay, so now next question.
Yes.
You came up first. She
Correct.
was here illegally, so she has to go home and come back. Correct?
Correct. Yes.
Okay, that's okay. Now I understand. And the file was transferred from the National Visa Center to Guyana back in 2017?
Once again, correct.
Okay, you need a lawyer because this should have been scheduled a year ago. I don't know why it wasn't. So hold on.
All right.
Okay? So when you say how much longer, it should have been 2018. You should have been here with a green card. Adam in Newport. Adam in Newport.
Hello, how you doing, Mr. Brad?
How are you?
All right, I'm doing good.
What's going on?
All right. I just received a letter from the scheduler from my mom. I was applying for her.
Uh-huh.
I'm a United States citizen for her. I-130. Everything was good.
Great.
So today I received the interview is going to be on the 19th of February, right?
Where?
It's in Morocco.
Okay.
And then, when I check her passport, the passport is going to be expired on May 9th. So, does she need to apply for a new passport,
Yes.
or she can go with that passport right
Apply
now?
for a new passport. Try to get it expedited.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
It's okay. That's because I just
Yes.
called my brother. I told him I gotta
Yes.
ask Mr. Brad for it. So she should get a new passport
Correct.
in like 6 months.
Yes,
only, right?
right.
At
It
least.
should be at least good for at least 6 months.
Okay, so the second question is, and for the tax paper too, because they asked me about the most recent tax paper, and my co-sponsor, he didn't did his tax yet, and me too.
You didn't do your tax
the
for which
tax
year?
paper
For which year?
When I send the documents.
Well, you need the taxes through 2017. 2018 is not due till April 15th.
Okay, so that's fine, right?
That's fine.
Okay, and there is another the last question for my brother. So I'm trying to apply for my brother through my mom, but my brother he gonna be finished 21 in June of this year.
He's going to wait 7 years, unfortunately. There's nothing you're going to be able to do.
Oh.
Sorry about that.
Okay, that's
Sorry
fine.
about that.
Thank you. So
All
so she needs to go do a passport right as
Yes.
soon as possible, right before 90, right?
Correct.
Okay, thank you so
You're
much,
welcome.
Mr. Brett.
All right. You know, Belgium Kim,
Yeah.
Yonathan Yo-Yo Elias.
Yeah.
We here at the Brad Show Live have come up with a new game.
Oh, what have we done?
Yeah, it's called Brad-ymology.
Okay.
Brad-omology.
I know about this game.
It is the etymology. Etymology is the history of a linguistic form, such as a word. Etymology is where did the words come from. So we decided to send Yonathan out on the street to test people's knowledge of where words used every day in the English language originate from. Let's see how everybody did in their Brad-omology game.
What's up, Brad Squad? It's your boy Yonathan Elias out here in the streets of Manhattan. Did you know that some of the words that you use in the English language have roots from all over the world? All right, we're gonna hit the streets and ask some people and see if they know the origin of some of the words that they use every day. Make sure you guys play along. This is a new game called Brad-omology. Let's go. Gonna heat things up because it's cold out here.
It's freezing cold, man.
All right, now the first word, bona fide. Like a bona fide marriage. Is it Italian, Latin, French, or Bengali?
Okay, I think I'm gonna go with Latin.
I'm gonna go Bengali.
Bona fide. Bona fide, it's Italian.
Latin? French.
Ooh, it's Latin, bona fide. Now in Latin, bona fide means in good faith, but what we describe today as real or authentic. So in the immigration world, a bona fide marriage means a real or authentic marriage, or what we like to call on the Brad Show Live, a Brad-ified marriage. Doppelganger, is it German, Russian, Czech, or Dutch?
Dutch.
I'm gonna go with German.
Ooh. Ooh, this is doppelganger. Sounds German to me.
Final answer?
I'm gonna go with German.
German?
Now, is it German, Russian, Czech, or Dutch?
Okay, to be honest, I have no idea about all the 4 languages, but I think I'm gonna go with German.
German, yeah. Look. Okay, you're a smart guy even when you guess.
Yeah.
The word doppelganger is in German, which literally means double walker, as in ghost or shadow. But today we describe it as someone who looks eerily similar to you. Kind of like how Brad looks like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. All right, status quo. Is it Spanish, Vietnamese, Latin, or Chinese?
Vietnamese?
Status quo. Is it Spanish, Vietnamese, Latin, or Chinese?
I'm gonna go with Latin.
I'm gonna go Spanish?
Status quo.
Status quo. It is a Latin word.
Oh, I didn't even have to say it. Good job. You got that. Good job. Status quo is Latin, meaning the existing state of affairs. For this word, we have delicatessen. So is it Hungarian, German, Polish, or Yiddish?
It is, I believe, German.
Delicatessen. Is it Hungarian, German, Polish, or Yiddish?
That sounds kind of Polish. That's Polish.
It's Polish word.
German?
German?
Good job. Delicatessen is a German word meaning fine, fancy foods, just like delicacy. But in the English language, we kind of describe it as a place where you could get some cold cuts. Okay, kindergarten. You know kindergarten?
Kindergarten?
Is it Dutch, German, Arabic, or Indonesian?
Kindergarten. Kindergarten is Arabic.
Is it Dutch, German, Arabic, or Indonesian?
I believe it's German.
It has to be between Dutch and German.
So pick one.
German again?
The first one.
Kindergarten. Dutch, German, Arabic, or Indonesian?
That's Dutch. That has to be.
German.
Serious? Like, they may have half the dictionary. That's it.
Right, basically, isn't that crazy?
It's crazy. I never knew that.
Kindergarten is a German word and literally means children's garden. This is just easy for you.
No, it's not easy. It's not.
Glitch. Is it Turkish, Russian, Afrikaans, or Yiddish?
I believe it is Russian.
It has to be probably Yiddish.
Glitch. You know, like if there's a glitch in the TV, is that Turkish, Russian, Afrikaans, or Yiddish?
Yeah, it is a Turkish word.
Russian.
Russian.
Yiddish. Glitch is Yiddish, meaning slide or skid. Glitch is now a common word used for any small or unexpected problem. Kind of like how Brad Show Live always gets knocked off of Facebook. Thanks, Mark Zuckerberg. Now, the last one. Patio. Italian, Spanish, Portuguese, or French?
I'll go with Italian.
It is Portuguese.
Spanish?
Is it Italian, Spanish, Portuguese, or French?
Okay. Italian or French? Oh, am I right? Let me see.
I'm not going to say nothing.
Okay, I'm going to go with Italian.
It just has an accent to it.
Patio.
Portuguese?
Spanish. It was close! Patio is the Spanish meaning for inner court with an open sky. Nothing like twerking in a patio. I know Brad likes to do that. It was close, man. It was Listen, you did all right, but you know, the main thing is you learned.
Yes, because I just found out, like, I don't know anything.
Listen, don't worry. I didn't either, so you're not alone.
No, I'm going to definitely look up the origin of words and stuff.
It makes you think, right?
Yes.
There you have it, Brad Squad. That was a fun game of Brad-omology. I hope that you guys learned a lot, and I hope that y'all got some right as well. Back at the studio.
Okay, Fräulein. That is German, Belgium, Kim.
Yes, it is, Brad.
Right, and some of us were schmucks by getting them all wrong, which is Yiddish. Let's go to Mr. James in Brooklyn. Mr. James.
Yeah, good night, Brad.
How are you?
I'm all right. A couple of years ago, you petition, you filed a waiver for me. I come here from Jamaica with in somebody else's name, and I give you a disposition letter. I got my green card, but no, I'm going for my citizenship. Is it going to affect me when I file for my citizenship?
It shouldn't, but what I would suggest you do is make an appointment to come. We did a waiver for the fraud, so it should be fine. But what I would suggest you do is, come back and let's just review everything and make sure everything's kosher. So hold on one second, okay? Let's go to Mr. Cross in Huntsville, Alabama. Mr. Cross.
Hello.
How are
Good
you?
afternoon, sir.
How you doing?
I'm not too bad.
What's going on?
Bad. I'm calling to find out what's the process and what you can do to help somebody who overstay. I overstay about 2 months now. I don't know what's the procedure.
I don't know what
and
the
you can
procedure.
do.
I don't know what the procedure is either. There's no I overstayed my visa and this is the procedure. There's all different ways that you may be eligible for a green card. You would need to have a consultation. But there's no I overstayed 2 months. Tell me the procedure. That doesn't exist in life. So hold on 1 second. You need a consultation. All right. With that, Belgium Kim.
Yeah.
What do we got here? We got social media check-in, Belgium Kim. That's what we got. All right. Let's start.
Our first question is from Rish, who says, can we change from an F2 to an F1 if we want to pursue a master's degree? And if so, what requirements do we need to have? And is it easy to do that process?
F2 to F1 means you apply to school, you get accepted, you get an I-20, and you file an I-129 with the I-20, prove that you can afford to pay your tuition, room, and board without taking a job, and you're accepted to the school. Done.
Fantastic.
All right. Nicholas Brown says, hey, Brad, my mom filed an I-130 for me and my sister in February 10th. I think this is 2014. At the time, my sister was under 21. Now she's 21. How much longer do we have to wait?
Who filed for who?
The mom filed for her and her sister.
Are they mom resident or citizen?
Does not say. So
Well,
do both.
If mom was a citizen, you will be here immediately because you're under 21. If mom's a resident and was filed for when?
2014, February 10th.
You may fall into the F2B cat. Well, if you're under 21, you should have been here already, either way. They're under 21?
Under 21. Now she is 21.
She should have been here a while back. She should call me.
Even with both?
Yeah.
I mean, well, obviously she was a citizen, but if she was
even as a resident, yeah.
Okay, so Nicholas Brown, call.
Yeah, something's amiss.
Nenny has a really interesting question. Her father's a citizen and filed a petition for her and her sister with some sort of agent at the consulate in Suva. And I do not know where
Suva.
Where is Suva?
I don't know. Where's Suva?
I don't know where Suva.
Where's Google? I would ask Yonathan Yo-Yo Elias to Google it, but yesterday I asked him to Google a couple things. He came back with no information.
Suva is the capital and largest metropolitan city in Fiji.
Fiji.
Okay, so now you know. Okay, you do it for Belgium Kim. Yeah. Well. Yesterday I was suggesting that
You were telling me to
Google Australia. I told you to Google Australian weather. It was easy.
You said like the hottest something.
Yeah, you're like screw that.
Like a factoid.
Like, screw that.
Record and recorded temperature.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, screw that, fat man.
Definitely didn't say that. Nor thought it.
Yeah.
So Nenny's U.S. citizen father filed for her and her sister several years ago. The agent that they were filing with, so it sounds like it was some sort of
Immigration consultant.
Immigration consultant, exactly. He unfortunately passed away as the filing was happening, and they moved. And so all of the mail that they've been getting for all of these years about their appointment was going to the deceased agent, and they haven't gotten anything. They just found out that their application was approved years ago.
Do they have a family member here who can take over the case?
Well, U.S. citizen dad is still here.
Fine, so we can take over the case.
That he can.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Come on in, Dad.
Come on in. All right, Charlene Jacobs, how long does it take to do a biometrics test after applying for a green card?
It should take about 6 to 12 weeks after you apply.
Debutant Janet said, my stepfather filed for me around December of last year. Around how long is it going to take? I'm 20 years old, but I'm going to be 21 in November.
As long as he filed before your 21st birthday, it should take a little over a year.
Daphne Hudson says, what is census records that immigration is asking for?
I don't know. What are census records that they're asking for? I have no idea.
I'm wondering if she's asking about the citizenship question on the census. Is that crazy? You see what I'm saying?
Okay. I think you're right.
Yeah.
Wow.
In 2020, on the census, They are one of the questions on the census, which counts how many Americans, how many residents, how many people live in America. One of the questions is going to be, are you a citizen? That question was blocked by a court. So as of now, it's not going to be on the census.
We've got a question from Lamac. I just realized that was on me. We have a question from Lamac, who said, if someone got locked up and then went through the asylum process and they granted you CAT. What is
Convention Against Torture.
Ah, okay. Is there any way that you can get it adjusted down the line? Because with the CAT, you can't leave the country and you can't become a citizen or even get a green card. But I'm wondering if getting married to a citizen would change that status somehow.
Perhaps, yes, because you would file an I-130, get a bona fide marriage exemption, get the I-130 approved, and then try to reopen your deportation case and ask the judge to adjust your status.
All right, Monica Law says, what if I marry someone who is an American citizen who is on a disability benefit? Can that person file for me?
Absolutely. A disabled person is allowed to be in love.
We already got that question. They called. I see what you're saying. Gift from God says,
Gift from God.
Is there a way a mom of a U.S. citizen with a disability, so the U.S. citizen is 6 years old and has a disability, could mom obtain a green card in order for her to stay permanently in the U.S. to care for her citizen child?
Only if the mother was in deportation and the mother applied for cancellation or removal and showed an extreme and unusual hardship to the 6-year-old child and the mom was here for more than 10 years.
All right, David Lummy on YouTube says, I went for my green card interview today and I was told that my case was in litigation. What does this mean?
Case was in litigation?
Litigation.
I have no idea what that means. What do you mean your case was in litigation? You would be the one who litigates a case, nobody else.
Right. That's
So you got the word, wrong word.
Wrong word.
I don't know what it would be, but...
Or you're talking to someone who doesn't know.
Correct.
Moya McFarlane wants to know, my mother filed for me in 2008. I'm a married child. How long am I going to have to wait still?
Say it again?
Married child. Mom filed for her in 2008. So it's been 11 years almost.
About 4 more years. Okay.
All right, Kajilia McKenzie.
I was just reading Christine Bennett.
Yeah.
Could you guys stop using Brad as a substitute lawyer? Please, you all paid false lawyers. I know, not everyone's a false lawyer. Let's not get carried away, Christine, but thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Not a false lawyer, but an incompetent one.
Well, we don't know. I don't like to disparage.
Kajilia McKenzie asked a question yesterday, so this is a re-up from the question from last night. My daughter is 8. What is her fee for the adjustment of status?
You have to go to Google. Say Google.
Google.
Give me USCIS homepage. You go to USCIS homepage, you go to Forms. You go to the I-45 where it says Adjustment, Special Instructions, Filing Fees. Under 14 is $750 if you're applying with your parent.
So that sounds...
Plus $535 for the I-130.
Okay.
Which would be... $12.85.
$12.85.
There you go.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Was $12.85.
All right.
Obviously. Oluratimi said, if you've got 4 criminal
And
records...
the funniest thing is, I just went to the USCIS website, and then something just popped up. Hey, you have a question. I'm the one answering the questions. I'm not asking the questions.
I don't have a question for you, USCIS
website. Let me get off of this. They're asking me if I have a question.
Wait,
now.
isn't that bot's name Sophia or something like that?
I
They have a weird bot.
Yeah.
Oluratimi is wondering if you've got 4 criminal record drug charges.
No, the answer is no already.
Right.
Can't get a green card.
No,
Can't travel.
can you put in for your citizenship? Sounds like he has a green
well, it
card.
depends when they were.
Oh, okay.
And what they were.
Okay.
You're definitely a deportable alien, but it's possible you can slide through on citizenship nevertheless, depending on when it was.
What is the year cutoff? Like, what is
it depends. Really, what the bottom line is this. You have 4 drug arrests.
Yeah.
You are a deportable alien.
Right.
So when immigration sees your citizenship, and you go for your interview, they have 3 choices. Choice 1 is make you a citizen. Choice 2 is put you in deportation to deport you. Choice 3 is deny your case and say you're deportable but not do anything to you.
Okay.
Those are your 3 possibilities.
Right.
Okay. So which possibility are they going to do?
Mm-hmm.
If they think they can deport you, they're going to put you in deportation and get
Right.
you out of the country.
Right.
If they think that there is no way in the world they can deport you, then most likely they'll make you a citizen. If they're not sure whether they can deport you or not, they won't make you a citizen. They'll push it off for another day and just deny you and make you appeal.
Got it.
So what we as attorneys have to do is look to say, hey, if immigration puts you in deportation, are we going to win your case? Because if we say we're going to win your case, then immigration knows we're thinking the same thing.
We know,
It's like a
right.
prosecutor wouldn't prosecute somebody who's ultimately they're not going to get a guilty plea on.
I see. That makes sense. Thanks, Brad.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So Kajilia has another question for the affidavit of support. What's the minimum in terms of financial status?
Depends on how many people the petitioner has to support.
James Campbell is wondering, is it a problem to submit an affidavit? It's an AOS, so I don't know if it's
Adjustment of
affidavit.
status.
I never know. How do you know when it's affidavit of support or adjustment of status?
We don't know. We're just taking a guess.
We're just, okay. Is it a problem to AOS with a weapons conviction? I did a year on the weapons conviction over 10 years ago. So yeah, adjustment of status.
Yes, it could still be a problem.
All right. Anu Olowapo. All right. I got married to my husband in December 2017, and we're both separated since February of last year. But we are planning to come back together now. Can he still file for me?
Yes, you're allowed to fall in love, fall out of love, and fall back in love with the same person. Happens all the time. Yonathan, haven't you broken up with a girl and got back together with her?
Absolutely.
All legit, right?
Absolutely.
Belgium Kim, same. For a
I
man.
would never double dip. No, I have.
You have.
Absolutely have. Absolutely.
And then they said separated, so it's not even
You're divorced, yeah. And I've seen people get divorced and got back together.
Okay.
Again,
crazy
Elizabeth
stuff.
Taylor.
Crazy stuff.
They should still say that they separated, though, right? Or no?
Still the truth. Everything in that truth, they still entitled to a green card.
Right.
All right.
Ryu Cage said, if you were brought here as a child at 5 years old and you've been on TPS ever since, and your TPS expired, can you apply for DACA? I came in February of 2000.
Yes.
Ah.
All right, Claudia says, good afternoon. The question is, I want to ask if I have my son, he is 32 years old, and I want to file for him. He had his wife and 2 kids. They are twins and will be 2 years old in April. I asked concerning filing for him. They told me if I started the process, it will take 12 years before it will mature. So I want to know your take on this. Can I file for him and his family together?
Yes, file for him, but it will take probably longer than 12 years, probably closer to 15.
Sheesh. Is there any way of getting it?
Find a different category. But maybe get sponsored in a job.
Right.
For example.
Cool.
Kaveta says, I'm currently filing for VAWA. Do I need to go ahead and divorce my husband?
No.
Kobe on YouTube says, a U.S. citizen's spouse filed an I-130 petition for her stepchildren who are minors. It's been 10 months now and still not approved. What should the petitioner do?
10 months? Come see Abadir and let's file a mandamus. If it's more than 9 months and you're an immediate relative, you should be suing the government. Shouldn't take more than 6 months.
Even as a spouse?
Spouse, yeah. Yeah. Let's go to Mala in Newark, who's been waiting a while. Mala?
Hello.
Hi, Mala. How are you?
I'm good.
What's going on?
I'm just here. I just need some advice.
Yeah.
My husband has been abusive to me, and I have a 7-month-old baby, and I filed for VAWA, and I just want to know that if I have to divorce my husband in order to be approved for my VAWA.
No, you do not. There's no requirement to divorce him. I mean, if he was abusive and he's a jerk, there's no reason to be married to him. But certainly, you don't have to divorce him at all.
Okay, and another thing, right? I'm currently living with my cousin. She's taking care of me and my daughter.
Good.
And my in-laws told me my cousin is getting married. So my in-laws told me that since I don't have anywhere to stay, that they can buy a house in my husband's name, and I can probably live in the upper flat or in the lower flat.
Stay away from your husband. Stay away from their in-laws. Why would you get back in their control, buying a house in your husband's name, the man who was abusing you? You gotta just stay away. You're just looking for trouble. Figure out another way. There's got to be other ways.
Okay.
All right, because that's looking for abuse. That's control. The parents are looking to control you, put you back in a house that's owned by your husband who was abusing you. No, don't do that.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And another question, right?
What?
Like my husband had filed for me, and they had requested initial evidence because the amount of money he was working
It doesn't
for
matter.
was not enough.
It doesn't really matter because you're now doing a VAWA.
Okay, and like since I filed for VAWA, I didn't submit I-485. Do I need to do that right now, or do I wait for when my VAWA is approved?
Well, you should wait for your interview for the I-485, and then when you go on your interview for the I-485 based on what your husband did, you're going to bring the receipt for the VAWA and say, please substitute my VAWA case for this.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
You understand?
Thank you so much.
You understand, Mala?
Yes.
Okay. Where are you from?
I'm from New Jersey.
Where originally?
Pardon me?
Where are you originally from?
Guyana.
Guyana. Okay. All right. Well, good luck with everything, and keep in touch and let us know how it's going.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
All right. Let's go to Kim in Queens. Kim.
Yes, sir.
Hi.
Hi. Thank you, guys. You're a good help. I just have a quick question.
Sure.
I got my conditional green card last July, and it's valid for 2 years. The thing is, like last year, so we filed, me and my wife, she's a U.S. citizen, so we filed the taxes together. And this year, we're thinking to do it married but separately. So my question is,
Don't do that. No, it's going to affect you. It's going to affect you removing the conditions. It's going to affect you become a citizen. You have to have a joint economic relationship with your wife all the way through this whole entire immigration process. So you're going to file a joint tax return. That's what you're going to do.
Thank you, Brad.
You're welcome.
Have a good night, guys.
Okay. All right. So I just read they're coming out with Black Panther 2. It's already in the works.
Really?
Yes.
That's exciting.
And recently on our show a little while back we had one of the actors from Black Panther, which had won the SAG Award for outstanding performance by a cast in a motion picture.
Yeah.
The film also returning to movie theaters for free in celebration of Black History Month from February 1st to February 7th. Disney said the film will be shown at 250 participating AMC locations, where there will be 2 free showings per day at each theater.
Aww.
Nice. Very good, Disney. Good job, Disney, on that.
Yes.
And on top of that, Bamba, one of the actors in the Black Panther, celebrated his birthday yesterday.
Aww.
Happy birthday, Bamba John. So he also appeared on our show. He was the actor who appeared on our show last year to discuss his decision to come out publicly that even he, as a working Hollywood actor who is in one of the most famous movies ever made, is a DACA recipient.
Oh, wow.
So his decision to come out in solidarity with hundreds of thousands of other DACA recipients in the United States is very, very commendable. That's Bamba John Bamba in the Black Panther.
Right.
He appeared on our show, Brad Show Live. Let's watch. Most of you know Hollywood actor Bamba John Bamba for his recurring character on NBC's The Good Place and roles in Grey's Anatomy, Suicide Squad, and now the Black Panther. What you may not know about Bamba John is that he is a DACA recipient. That is the program that President Obama put into place to shield children who came to the United States illegally or came legally and then became illegal. He joins us today to discuss the recent decision to come out publicly about his immigration status, that he is a DACA recipient. Welcome, Bamba John, and welcome to the Brad Show. I really appreciate you coming on.
Hey, thanks for having me, Brad. And thank you for saying that not all of us come in illegally.
Correct.
Some of us can lose our status. Don't become illegal, but become undocumented.
That is very...
An action cannot be illegal. An action can.
Correct. As a matter of fact, it is not a crime to be undocumented in the United States. The news actually uses the word illegal. It's not a crime. It's a civil offense. It's only illegal.
Exactly.
It is only illegal actually if you leave the United States with an order of deportation and then re-enter without permission. None of which any of the DACA recipients have done.
Thank you, sir, for that clarification.
Yeah.
Man, I wish you could echo that to all your colleagues because none of them understand that.
And most news outlets, even pro-immigration outlets, don't understand it. And actually part of the problem with the discourse in immigration in America is the fact that the news and the public are using the wrong words. When they hear the word illegal, it sounds like you're a criminal, rather than using the word undocumented. When you use the word alien, it sounds like you come from another world. You're from Mars or Jupiter, rather than you're a human being. We have undocumented human beings. We don't have illegal aliens. You know, and if perhaps the political discourse was a little different, we would be having a different conversation right now.
I believe that wholeheartedly.
And I, as an immigration advocate, sometimes get caught up using the word illegal when I shouldn't be, which I just did in our introduction. So thank you very much for correcting me as well.
No, thank you for breaking it down. I mean, I don't think I could have done that better.
Yeah, because immigration is a civil offense. It's not a criminal offense, and it has never been a criminal offense for the history of the United States. So let's get into your history. Where are you originally from?
So I'm originally from Côte d'Ivoire, and that's West Africa for those that don't know.
Right.
And we also, in English, it's called Ivory Coast. In Spanish, it's Costa de Marfil. I mean, every language, my country's name changed. We moved to America in '92, fleeing political persecution. And then we moved to the South Bronx. And I was 10 years old. My parents filed for political asylum. And the asylum took so long that I didn't even realize I was undocumented until high school. When I was trying to go to college, I realized that I couldn't get any financial aid. And my parents kind of explained to me what happened. But they decided to support me and support my dream and continue working and going.
Now, obviously, you had no control over coming here, and you certainly had no control over filing for political asylum. Your parents kept this from you. Was it how did you feel? Was it a shock when you found out, or was it more like you kind of knew, but thanks for clarifying?
Well, no, it was definitely not a shock. They didn't hide it from me. I mean, I remember the first asylum hearing. We went in the courtroom in front of a judge, and there were officers there, and my mother was on the stand trying to explain this very complicated case that she herself didn't even understand. And that was like a awakening that, okay, you know what, I'm here, but I'm not the same as my friend. So when they sat down and broke it down to me, it was like, okay. At first you think, okay, I won't be able to go to school anymore. I won't be able to pursue this dream. I was doing really well in high school, homecoming king. Everyone was like, go to Hollywood, do well. And then this happened. So they basically paid for my school with the little hair braiding salon, Bomba's Hair Braiding, still in Richmond, Virginia.
So you grew up in the Bronx originally, I understand, and then moved to Virginia. How was it growing up as an immigrant, as somebody from Africa, both in the Bronx and then in Virginia? Was it a different between the Bronx and Virginia? How did you acclimate? Because obviously, from the Ivory Coast, for those who don't know, you spoke French when you came here, I assume, correct?
Correct. So when I came, this is the South Bronx '92, pre-Giuliani. Right. So you could still ride for your Metro card and your sneakers just walking home. And being African wasn't cool at all. So I got bullied a lot. I got in a lot of fights, and then started bullying people. My dad was like, "You can't live here. It's not safe for my family." So he took us all to Virginia, which was really like manicure lawns and suburbia and cheese buses and a structured school system. So it was a lot better to acclimate in Virginia, and that's where I kind of got involved in the arts and played tennis and became a functional member of the society.
And your parents had a business. They did hair braiding in
Yes.
Virginia, and there was enough
Correct.
clientele for them. Was there other people in your area from the Ivory Coast, or were you kind of like the one family from the Ivory Coast in that area?
Yeah, we moved like in the late '90s, so we were like one of the first African families, probably like one of the first hair braiding salons. Now there's like,
right,
and the community was really small. There wasn't really a lot of Ivorians, but there were other West Africans. So we kind of like became a community.
You had a group there. You weren't alone.
You weren't completely alone, right?
So now your parents put you through school. You found out you're undocumented. You hide this from everybody. You start an acting career. You start getting jobs. You start becoming more well known. What made you decide to come out publicly and proclaim that you are a DACA recipient and tell your immigration story?
Well, let's take it back a couple of steps. So the asylum case took so long that when it was finally approved, I was over 21 and married. So I couldn't qualify. I aged out.
Right.
And when I aged out, I thought I couldn't work anymore. And then DACA came along, and that's kind of what resurrected my career and my dream, because I was like, damn, I worked all these years. I mean, it's done. But then DACA came along and helped me continue on this path to this career. So
that worked out for you. Other than that, maybe you wouldn't be in the films and the TV shows.
I definitely would not be in Black Panther. I mean, they're very strict about working with papers in Hollywood.
So now DACA came out. It allowed you to pursue your dreams, and it's really, they call it the Dream Act. And here's a perfect example of somebody who was able to pursue their dreams. I mean, it's quite ironic, but true. So what did make you decide to come out? So your family won their asylum. They got their green cards. You fell off the case. What decided, you got the DACA, but what decided to make you come out publicly and talk about this?
Yeah, well, for me, I mean, when we got DACA passed, I was kind of like in the background. There were a lot of young, undocumented people who were in the White House pushing Obama to pass this legislation, saying we're undocumented and we're unafraid. And I was sitting here afraid, and I benefited from DACA, and here I am working, and I just felt like a fraud. I felt it was disingenuous for me to like keep hiding, especially when Trump came into office, and then they set this date to cancel and terminate DACA.
Right.
So when that happened, that was like the big wake-up call for me. Like, look, I need to join this fight. I need to use the platform that I was given to try to make some kind of a difference. And I have a wife and a daughter, so if DACA's canceled, I could be separated from them. I could be deported. So I needed to go out fighting. I got to be scared.
So how do you think, so besides you, have you heard other stories about how it would affect other actors? Have you met other actors who are also part of DACA, or other people that you've met throughout Hollywood or LA or through your travels?
Yeah, I mean, I run this organization called the African Artists Association. I'm a board member. It's the3as.org. So a lot of African artists, and obviously immigration is an issue that affects Africans a lot. Immigration is a Black issue, but a lot of times we don't share our story. So I met some actors who told me confidence, like, man, I'm DACA too, man. Thank you for what you're doing. And then I'm like, yo, you know, you can share your story. It's going to put a human face to this issue. And they're like, you know, let me just chill. Because in Hollywood, I guess it's, or in the entertainment industry, people still don't understand it. I still get calls from casting directors like, are you legal? Can we hire you?
Right.
And I'm always telling them, look, I'm a DACA recipient. I have papers. I can work. I'm legal. But technically, the term is undocumented. So
right. You have work. I think the term is you have work authorization. You have work authorization. You are authorized to work. That's how I would describe it. And
There you
and it's very interesting that you have this organization because you see certainly at least in the news and everything else that DACA is always about Latinos and Hispanics.
Right.
You rarely see DACA recipients, whether it's West Indians or Africans. You rarely see them putting a face as also being DACA recipients. And what I find, and tell me if you agree with this or not, what I find is a lot of people say, get rid of the immigrants, get rid of them, except these three guys I know because they know them as a human being. Because you talked about putting a face on it. As soon as you get to know somebody as a human being, they say, no, get rid of everybody, but these three guys are good. These are good guys.
These three guys just yeah. I mean, it's just I feel like Latinos have gotten so much further in this fight than we have because they're out there and they're, getting themselves arrested, civil disobedience. I mean, they're really bold and unafraid. But for us, Africans and Caribbeans, it's just taboo around it. And we're scared, literally. No one wants to share, put out the dirty laundry. So in mind sharing my story is to encourage other African Caribbean people that, you know what, it's okay. If we don't share our stories, when decisions are made, our issues put on the table. Like, for example, in California, you can get a license if you're undocumented. But when you go to the DMV, it just tells you, hey, you're from Guatemala or El Salvador or Mexico. If you have a consulate ID, we can use that as an ID to give you a driver's license. But if you're from Africa or Caribbean, you got to go to your consulate on the East Coast to get an ID.
Right.
And that happened because we weren't at the table when they made those decisions. And how am I going to travel to the East Coast and get a passport that's that's current?
You can't travel without an ID to get on an airplane.
You can't travel without an ID, so you're stuck.
You're
so
stuck unless you're going to get in a car and drive across country and hope that some sheriff with a big hat doesn't arrest you on the way.
Yep. Right in Texas. It happens a lot.
It does. It does. I hear it every day in my practice.
Yeah.
So let's get to that a second because you mentioned being a black man. How is it because being a black man growing up and then add on top of it because obviously I don't have that experience. I hear about the experiences, but I never lived it. How is it being a black man and also being undocumented? How has both of those affected you growing up? How did that experience differ than you think maybe some other undocumented people or maybe even just some other blacks who are born in America are?
The experience of being a black man in Africa is definitely, you get a lot more attention from police officers than you really want. And statistically, it's shown that black immigrants get deported on a much higher rate based on their population. So it means that you're walking on this extra layer of eggshells. You're trying to be perfect. You don't want to have a broken tail light because that can lead to deportation proceedings. It's just like you're walking this fine line. You got to be careful that even like a moving violation can trigger deportation proceedings. So every little thing, that I ever interacted, my mom was just like, hey, here you go. Just don't fight. Don't go to court. Pay for it. Whatever you need. Don't want to just have any kind of interaction with a police officer.
You're 100% right. So now I can't let this interview end without talking about Black Panther for at least a second. It's acclaimed worldwide. It's over $1 billion. Besides being like this incredible superhero movie, it addresses a lot about themes about race and identity, even immigration, isolationism. What does being part of the film mean to you, both as an immigrant and how has it obviously helped your career?
Obviously, it's an amazing film and it's in the history. It broke records and it's still breaking records. So as an artist, you always want to be a part of projects that are just like so impactful to the society. And the icing on the cake is it's an African superhero.
Right.
And I'm African. And it's showing Africa in such a light of prosperity, of wealth, of dignity, and even honoring the tradition. So to me, it helps me believe and dream more, the kids or whoever's going to watch it, to see what's possible in Africa. Like if we didn't go through colonialism, or if we didn't, or if we did better after colonialism to unite economically or whatever, what is in the movie could be possible in Africa. We have vibranium, and not vibranium, but we have all the natural resources. I mean, in one continent.
Right.
So I think it just helps us believe that it's possible, and hopefully inspires us to do what we need to do to make that happen.
So yeah. So now you have this platform. You're on this wonderful movie, and your career is on an upward trajectory. Trust me, it is. What do you hope, our audience, what do you hope people get to take away from hearing your story, hearing about your background? What do you hope to get out of all of this? Because you're making a lot of appearances and talking about this. What do you hope that everybody gets out of all this?
I hope people will at least have to say, hey, there's a face that I could put on the issue. They can say, okay, you know what? At least I know an undocumented person. It can shatter some stereotypes that people have. And ultimately, I'm hoping that it's going to encourage people to become allies with immigrant rights organizations so that they can help us. I mean, we can't vote. So we need Americans who actually can vote to go out in the ballot box and help make a difference, or put enough pressure on Congress so that they can pass some real legislation. And also, I mean, you can follow me on Instagram, Bamba the Great, or Twitter, Real Bamba John, and you stay in touch with all the things I'm working on. I'm working on a podcast too, and a few other projects. So send me a message. I'm available. I'll respond. Yeah, man, that's what I'm doing.
I got one more question before I let you leave. So this show is about achieving your American dream. Okay? We want to help everybody achieve their American dream. So I have a question for you, and we ask everybody who comes on. Have you achieved your American dream? And if not, what is your American dream?
Have I achieved my American dream? I'm on my way to achieving my American dream, because right now there's still a lot of uncertainty. Like, I'm not at peace with my family about my future and what's going to happen. It's not just me. It's 800,000 millions of dreamers and millions of other.
It's more than the 10 million that they say, and it's more than the 800,000 who have the DACA. But
exactly. So you have this entire population in America that are literally living in the shadows, and as second-class citizens are being exploited and separated viciously from their families without, they're not criminals. So I think the American dream is for all of us to come together and make this country better, right? Create this more perfect union. I feel like if all of us can live in this country and have the equal justice under the law and be represented as real citizens, I think that would be my American.
Bamba John, I couldn't have said it any better. You took the words out of my mouth. Thank you very much. Congratulations on the Black Panther. Your career, trust me, is going up. Fantastic job. Fantastic job. Thank you for giving us 20 minutes of your really busy time. Thank you for coming on our show, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Take care.
All right.
All right. So we have a whole bunch of questions in social media. Let's get to them quickly.
Get them.
Melissa's got a question. She said, a U.S. citizen filed an I-130 for their spouse who's in Jamaica. The spouse was denied entry, and the B-1 visa was canceled because he was traveling on a one-way ticket. What can we do now?
You need a waiver for misrepresentation.
Naveed says, can an F1 visa student after his OPT go back to school as a full-time student with another program if he's also has a pending I-130 via his green card spouse? As we know, there's no end date on the I-94 for the F1 visa holder.
The answer is yes, you can go back to a student visa, and the end date has been done by regulation. I think it's February 5th or February 8th now. So it's about another week or so left before everybody kind of falls out of status if you don't stay on your student visa. But the answer is yes, go back to school.
Nova on YouTube said, how long does it take to get a work permit and, a work permit replaced after applying after the current one has expired?
About 5 months.
Bosere Joseph says, I was married to an American citizen husband in June 2017. I received a letter from USCIS in September 2018 for adjustment of status interview, but they cannot find my file to conduct the interview. I've not heard from my local office till now. Please, what can I do?
You need to file a mandamus to force them to make a decision on your case. They could always ask for copies of your file and recreate a new file.
Robbie saying, I was 17 years old and was born and I'm living in the Philippines, but my father's a U.S. citizen and he lives with us. Am I a U.S. citizen?
If your father was a U.S. citizen when you were born and he can prove he lived in the United States for 10 years prior to your birth while over the age of 14, you would be a U.S. citizen.
Grinnell says, how long does it take for a citizen dad to file for an over 31, or I think they meant over 21, unmarried daughter?
7 years.
Stanley Bro said, can an aggravated felon apply for a 212H waiver if spouse and children are in the U.S.? And can a Class A or Class B felony be vacated?
Yes, it could be vacated possibly. It depends on what the aggravated felony is, whether or not you would be eligible for the waiver.
Sandy Lewis says, I'm doing the I-824 for my daughter. At number 4, it says, recent immigration status. I have a green card. What do I put?
You have a green card.
Oh,
right?
permanent resident.
Yeah. Lawful permanent resident.
Right. You just
Okay.
answered your own question.
Exactly.
Joyce said, can a person that's on disability get married and file for you?
Yes. Just because you're disabled doesn't mean you can't file for him.
Ramona says, I'm married to a U.S. citizen, and October 2018, he filed for me and my 13-year-old son. I haven't received my work permit yet. Is there any way he could file taxes for me and my son?
Yes. File a 1040, attach a W-7 to it, ask for a tax identification number. You would file a joint tax return when you get your Social Security number after you get your work permit.
That was
You can substitute
beautiful.
the Social Security number for the tax identification number.
That was beautiful.
I had to take a breath.
That was amazing.
This is going to be another wordy one. Yeah. P. Lecky said, can a derivative beneficiary who has aged out recapture their original priority date when the primary beneficiary petitions for the derivative?
No, because it's a different category.
So, and he had a little bit more information. He said the primary beneficiary is a mother and the child's mother was filed for by a grandmother, and the son, who's the derivative beneficiary, aged out because he's 30.
Still, the answer is no.
Still
You can't get your old priority date back.
Great.
All right, Janice says, hey, Brad, my mom filed for me, my brothers, and my sisters in 2009. They're all now living in the USA, but I'm married with kids. How long will it take for me?
3 more years.
Jasher said, can an aggravated felon get citizenship or even just enter America?
You can't become a citizen if you're an aggravated felon after November 17th, 1990. If the aggravated felony is prior to November 1990, then possibly. You can't enter America as an aggravated felon in any way, shape, or form.
Yanni says, hey, I'm a Jamaican and I'm married and I got married in November 2017. I put my paperwork and my husband got in some trouble, so in love with jail. I get the interview date, so I go after I went. They said that they cannot do anything without him after they sent a letter saying that I have 33 days to leave the country for a submit to appeal for a motion.
You need a lawyer, because they should not have denied it because your husband is in jail. You still love him.
Oh, come on, Yanni.
That's all we got.
Get Brad.
All right.
That's right.
With that, Belgium Kim.
With that.
And Yonathan Yo-Yo Elias.
Yes,
we have
sir.
one last thing to talk about.
We do.
Comments of the day.
All right, y'all. So our first comment of the day is from Tanisha McNabb on Facebook. She says, I'm so cold right now, but I'm so happy for some of the great company on this of my favorite show with my family squad. Nothing more can get me through this weather.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay.
Beautiful.
Okay.
That's beautiful. We've got one from Don Harriet who said, people before we do anything pertaining to immigration, please call Spar and Bernstein.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. I like that one
That
too.
was all day today.
Yeah. All right, Fortune. We got Fortune saying, this job isn't easy. Phew.
It sure ain't.
Yeah, Brad, that's for you.
It sure ain't.
You.
You think it's easy to do hump day news and follow that with immigration advice? It ain't easy. Trust me.
It's a delicate balance.
It's a delicate balance.
We've got Danny Contreras on YouTube, who was really happy because he is getting super educated with Brad.
I like that.
Nice. Yes.
I like that.
All right. We got one from Christine Bennett saying, the Brad Show is the best evening school in the whole world. And Brad is the best immigration lawyer there is.
That's right. We're going to start handing out student visas here.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
Brad
right.
Show Live School, student visa.
Student visa.
Amen.
That's it?
That's it.
Woo!
All right, everybody. We are off tomorrow. We'll see you all on Monday. Have a great weekend. Stay warm. Take care. So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK. 1-800-529-5465.